Oh yeah, I want to bring this out. All right. Anyone have a highlighter on them? No? Yeah? Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm going to highlight this so everyone can see it. All right. I told everyone last week that I had a book that was sent to me. I ordered a long time ago. And I wanted to bring something out of this. You have another one? Let's try it out.
I'm going to make it too dark.
That's fine. That's fine. I can do it like, oh, you got it? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. All right. I appreciate that. I want to highlight these so everyone can see it with themselves. Real quick. I said last week that I had a book. Lawyer finally brought it here for me. That I ordered a long time ago. That in actual, I seen a teaching where it's deep that the book, The Witch's Guide, led me to this book. The Witch's Guide was a book that a brother brought because he seen it was in the Illuminati book where the witches actually stake claim and say that Yahweh is their God. That's the highest deity that the witches and warlocks worship. And we know that that's the name of the Jewish people, God, the highest that they worship over in Israel. So that book actually referenced God, goddesses, and images of God in ancient Israel. Okay? So someone can't say that I'm anti-Semitic or whatever the case is. This book was put together with resources from Omar Kiel and Christoph Eurlinger, two Jewish people. Okay? God, goddesses, and images in ancient Israel. Now, there's so much information here, but I'm going to the part where it says Baal el Yahweh in his Ashtoreth. Because in the book, The Witch's Guide, Ashtoreth, which is the queen mother of heaven under Babylon, is the wife of Yahweh. Now, check this out. I need you to read this, lawyer, on page 291. Speaking of profaning the Most High's name out there. Section 2, which says Israel, God, and bull, and other Baal figures.
Yes, sir. It states, according to the Old Testament, worship of Yahweh.
Worship of who?
Worship of Yahweh.
Spell that for me.
Y-A-H-W-E-H. That included the use of one or more bull calf images.
Bull calf images. See, the bull, the calf, you know, the gods that was actually made under Aaron while Moses was up at the mount, getting the commandments by the real God, Ahia. Listen clearly.
According to the Old Testament, worship of Yahweh that included the use of one or more bull calf images.
Go ahead.
Was the most distinctive element of the state cult in northern Israel that was established by Jeroboam after the division of the kingdom.
So when the kingdom split, they started worshiping the same calves that our people were disobedient with coming out of Egypt. See? That's Yahweh. That's the YHWH. See? Read.
If one pays careful attention to the message that was proclaimed at the sanctuaries in Bethel and Dan, at the same time that the images of the bulls were set up. Here are your gods, Israel.
Here are your gods, Israel.
Who brought you up out from the land of Egypt.
Who made that statement? We're going to show you in a moment. Read.
then one can see that such activities were part of a program that was to give expression to the emancipation intended to free them concurrently from subjection both to Egypt and Jerusalem.
See? Now, I need you to get that out of Exodus real quick while I show the brothers and sisters the title of the book, God, Goddesses, and God, to show you all the ancient gods that Israel fell to in the Old Testament. It names them. Yahweh is the chief one. See that? Baal, El, Yahweh, and his Ashtoreth, his wife, which is the same as Semiramis. And when you see the obelisks, or what you would see the Washington monument, that thing sticking out of the ground, that's temples to Yahweh and Ashtoreth. Right? It's right in your face. But you tell our people, they won't hear it. They'll see what the Most High name is, and well, that's just a title. Hey, what can you do? I need you to read it in Exodus.
I'm going to read in Exodus and also in the Jeroboam.
Go ahead.
This is Exodus 32, verse 4.
Exodus 32 and 4, and we go into Jeroboam. Read.
And he received them at their hand and fashioned it with a graven tool, after he had made it a molten calf.
So they made a molten calf while Moses was up at the mount.
And they said,
These
be thy gods, O Israel.
Read that word again.
These be thy gods, O Israel.
Spell it for me.
G-O-D-S.
See, they had two calves. Read.
Which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
And read on.
And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it.
He built an altar before it and said what?
And Aaron made proclamation and said.
And then he made a statement. Check out this statement.
Tomorrow is the feast to the Lord.
And you guess what that Lord is right there? Yahweh. So that feast to Yahweh was the calves. Exactly what the book said. So it wasn't the God that was given the commandments to Moses on the mount. See? It was a Canaanite God that Aaron, was reprimanded for. Get the one in Jeroboam real quick in 2 Kings 7. 2 Kings, where you at?
1 Kings 12.
1 Kings 12. Let's read it.
1 Kings 12 and 26. And Jeroboam said in his heart,
Go ahead.
Now should the kingdom return to the house of David.
Now should the kingdom return to the house of David.
If this people go up to do sacrifice in the house of the Lord at Jerusalem, then shall the heart of this people turn again unto the Lord, unto their Lord, even unto Rehoboam king of Judah. And they shall kill me, and go again to Rehoboam king of Judah.
Go ahead.
Whereupon the king took counsel and made 2 calves of gold.
Same thing that they did coming out of Egypt. They did it again there. And there it is. Read.
And said unto them, It is too much for you to go up to Jerusalem. Behold, thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
See, they worshiping Yahweh and Ashtoreth again. So it's no wonder in our captivity they'll give us the same gods when we learn we're Hebrew that we fell from in the Old Testament.